All right, hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris Hawkes, and this is your Best Life Defined. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're getting some stuff done towards living your best life. You know, I say that, but there's a part of me that says, you know what, I'm kind of wondering if that's actually going to happen. See, I've been having conversations with people, and what I've discovered over the course of about 9 years, 8 years, when I actually first started thinking about this whole thing of living your best life versus just being happy. When I start talking about things I'm doing in my life and having discussions with people about what's possible for them, the one thing I always seem to get hit with is all the reasons why they can't do it. I'll say, well, you could do, no, I can't do that because I can't do this because. In fact, even the other day I had a conversation with someone I used to work with, and we mentioned our lifestyle, and I had mentioned it. He probably knew or heard about the fact that I was going to sell my house and hit the road and start traveling. And so when I told him, I said, yeah, we did it. And he goes, oh, you guys are traveling? I said, yeah. I said, what about you? He goes, and the first thing he does is, well, we're still living where we are and we really can't travel. And he gave me a list of excuses, a list of reasons why he can't. And I walked away from that conversation and I thought about this podcast and how to use that. And what it comes down to is you'll never accomplish anything you don't think you can accomplish. But have you ever noticed how when you tell someone you're going to do something, they tell you can't, how energized you get about doing it? Well, there's a reason for that. It's because it's a difference in mindset. It's a difference in mindset. When you have an idea in your head about something you're going to do, and no one's going to deter you of that because you believe it. Well, the same is true when you take a look at what you can't do. What you can't do. I can't do that. That's the reason that most people spend their entire lives in that box called the American dream. And I'm not tearing it down. I don't have any opinion about it either way. I imagine eventually I'll own a sticks and brick house, and it's essential. But what I will never do is I will never allow whatever I own to get in the way of the things I want to do. In other words, when we own a conventional house, it will not have a big-ass yard. And we will eliminate as much of the maintenance issues as we can when we buy that home. Because there's some things I don't want to do in my life. And and one of those things is I do not want the things I own to get in the way of the things I want to experience. I mean, I remember how it sucked. I wanted to do all kinds of stuff and I couldn't do any of it simply because I had that big ass house and all those things to do. I had all those obligations and all those commitments. And as long as you focus on what you can't do, you'll stay exactly where you are. It will never change. So, change it up a little bit. What can you do? Given your life, when we talk about living your best life, about adding things to your life that add energy and excitement to your life, that put fuel in your tank, and more than that, that inspire you to get the win, to get to do something where it's like, yeah, we should do more stuff like that. That's a pretty good indicator that you're on the right track. That was fun. White River rafting, well, that was fun. Fishing, oh, that was cool. Going out on the boat, oh, that was awesome. But yet somehow the I can'ts get in the way of that. Well, I can't go to the lake this weekend. Got too much debt. Don't have the money. It costs $300 to take the boat out. Well, no, you can. You just have to take the steps to do that. You have to find the $300 every week to go take that boat out. Maybe that might require you to drop some debt. Maybe that might require you to not live quite as extravagantly as you do. I don't know what your particular circumstances are, but what I do know is that as long as you approach everything that you might do with reasons why you can't, you will never do any of it. Is it scary? Hell yeah, it's scary. Maybe that's the reason you're saying I can't. I mean, you can come up with all these other excuses, but in the end, changing your life and stepping beyond the boundaries of your life is scary as hell. And the bigger you go, the more scary it is. I mean, sell everything and move into a fifth wheel. Go ahead, I dare you. You talk about scary. Just think about selling everything and moving into a fifth wheel. Scary as hell. The idea of pulling this big brick through Chicago, right? Up the West Coast to Florida. Scary as hell. I had every reason in the world why I can't do it. I'd never pulled a trailer this big. I don't know anything about fifth wheels. Never had one, never pulled one, never backed one in. Had all the reasons in the world why I couldn't do it. But I had the biggest reason in the world why I should, because I am destined to live my best life. I will not allow fear to get in the way of my goals. I will not allow fear to get in the way of my dreams. And in order for that to happen, what I have to do is I have to face every choice with what I can do. So back to you. What can you do? You're living your life, and maybe you don't want to change too much about it. What can you do to make your life better? You could be kinder. You could learn something about something you've never even thought about learning about. You could get better at something that you're okay with right now. You could spend time with someone that you love. You could spend quality time with someone you love. You could go on an adventure. You could go see one thing that you've never seen before. You could go see 5 things that you've never seen before. You could acquire a new skill. You could teach someone else a new skill. Living your best life is about the energy that comes from the activities you engage in. And I'm not talking about the happiness thing. I'm talking about that long-term sense of commitment to that thing because the goal is worth it. The effort is worth the goal. It is worth struggling through whatever it is you face to get to that other side. It's simple. It's simple. And the problem we have is that because this thing called the American dream and our lives are set up to where once we reach a certain point in our life, we have reached success. A lot of people just stop. And instead of moving forward beyond what they've done, they just spend the rest of their life maintaining that box they live in. Got to do this now, do this now, do that now. Oh no, we don't go outside the box. That's scary. We can't go outside the box. I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of I wish I hads when I die. I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to be facing my final days and I'll look back over my life and there's going to be some things I wish I had done. But thankfully, I've found the strength to face my fears and to say, okay, you know what? This is really scary for me and I don't know if we can do it, but I'm going to find a way. What can we do in this situation to make our life better? I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. I mean, I'm still showing up every day. I think there were a lot of people when I first threw this thing out here and started this podcast that, oh, that won't last. And there's sometimes when it's tough. And sometimes I'll wake up and I'll have all these excuses about why I can't. And then I do it anyway. Because the one big thing that matters is why I can. Why I can show up every day and continue. And it's because, in the end, someone is going to hear this and someone's going to say, he sure talks a lot. And I don't really like the sound of his voice. But the message is clear. And we shouldn't be trapping ourselves in this box. So let's push a wall down. Let's knock a wall down and go skydiving. Let's knock a wall down and go snowmobiling. Let's knock a wall down, go snowshoeing. Let's knock a wall down and go spend some time together walking around and getting to know each other again so we can be friends like we were when we met. I don't know, it's just a thought. All I know is that today's going to go by, tomorrow's going to go by, and at the end, when you finally face it and you're looking back at it as your life comes to an end, you're going to say, could I have made it better? Could I have done this better? Could I have done that better? And chances are there's going to be a long list. And even for me, that list is going to be long. But the difference is, I wake up every day with a goal to make my life better, to do something that adds value to my life, that gives me a sense of accomplishment and takes my life farther than it was the day before. Is it easy? No, not always. Do I expect you to look at what I'm doing here and say, oh, that's amazing. He's freaking amazing. No, I don't. In part because if you look at what I'm doing as amazing, then the question you're faced with is, why aren't you doing something similar? No, I don't mean be a podcaster. Why aren't you challenging yourself to face the fear that comes from doing things you've never done? Challenging yourself to face the hurdles to make sure the things you know you love to do, you have access to make those things happen in your life on a regular basis, to take action so that you can go boating every weekend, you can go golfing 3 days a week. See, I'm not the one that defines the story, you are. And you define it in one of two ways. You define it by focusing on what you can't do, or you define it by focusing on what you can do. And I guarantee it doesn't matter where your life is now or what you're doing right now at this moment, there is something you can do to live a better life. So just keep that in mind. I'm showing up here every day because I care about you. I care about me. This helps me a bunch because it ensures that I'm not saying things that aren't true. I'm testing it. I'm vetting my information before I give it to you because I don't want to give you something that isn't true. And the truth is, you are the only thing that's stopping you from doing the things you want to do. And if you don't define your success beyond where you are now, I guarantee you will never achieve it. So, and in the end, we'll all have regrets. So keep that in mind. You know, one more thing is that just keep in mind that when you achieve greatness, two things happen. One thing is it gives you inspiration. When you get that win, you pick something that you're afraid of or that you're not sure you can do, and then you accomplish it. It puts fuel in your tank. It gives you the confidence to take on a new challenge. And more than that, it proves all of those people around you wrong. All those people around you who doubted you and said, oh, that's not, I'll just give it up. Don't worry about it. You can't do that anyway. And that's the most rewarding experience of life, is to say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. This is what I can do. So I don't know if I'm rambling. I hope not. But like I said, I show up every day. The principles are the same. Don't base it on what makes you happy. Base it on what makes your life better, and take action every day towards it. And that action starts by spending time with yourself, thinking about who you are and what inspires you. And no matter what you face, whatever you have to do to get there, in the end, guess what? If you focus that energy and that effort on what you want to do, it's a lot easier to do what you have to do. So keep that in mind. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.